Welcome to my life. If you're in on this live, you can share the video. I was supposed to go live on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time, but you won't believe my Facebook would not open. Today I want to give my own review about Herve Bopda. Okay, usually I don't like to waste time. I have been struggling to set up the Facebook part, but it's not working, it's not going, I don't know why. So I'll just go ahead and say whatever I have to say here on YouTube. Okay, let me begin. Herve Bopda is trending on social media. Many Anglophone people are not familiar with the story. They really do not know what is going on, but it's a really sad story. I could not just stay without saying something about it, without reviewing it. Now, there are a lot of things involved in this case, and I want for us to work on it or listen to it step by step, because it affects us as a society much more than even the individuals who are directly involved. Now, I went through some French blogs and I listened to lots of videos. I watched lots of videos, and then I took lots of notes down, and then I said I should come and like really discuss this, because it's not something it's not something we'll just let to slide. Okay, I want to give a brief biography about him. He's a man in his 40s, and he was born to parents of the Bamileke origin, Banjul to be more precise. His father is the owner of Afri Constructions that we all know. His father is the owner of Afri Constructions. Afri Construction deals in construction materials, large-scale construction materials. It's a very big construction platform. So basically, his foundation is solid. Now, according to one of the bloggers, very popular, called Lassin, he's a French blogger. You can check him on YouTube and you'll find the video there. He made lots of very strong allegations against Herve Bopda, given that the guy in question is from a wealthy family, a rich family. He said Bopda had a troubled childhood. He faced a lot of challenges as a child, and now he grew up to be the kind of man he is because of the foundation he got. I don't want to dwell much on some of the things that I found on social media, but they are already available on social media. It is everywhere. Everyone can see, and everyone already knows, for those who have been following the case. Now, Emmanuel Bopda, who is the father of Herve Bopda, according to the said blogger Lassin and Zwimanto as well, wasn't a good guy. The father of Bopda, Herve Bopda, wasn't a good guy. They alleged that his father was a sadist. He was oppressive by nature. He was always angry, and above all, wanted to exercise his powers all the time. No matter the situation, no matter the case, no matter the time, he just wanted to exercise his strength. And he exercised his power and authority in the most demeaning ways you can imagine. Now, because of YouTube guidelines, I may not be able to say some of the things he did or he's been accused of doing while he was alive, because he's of blessed memory right now. But I'll try to make you guys understand the kind of things they said he was guilty of. Now, they said as punishment for the male employees who worked for him, he would have carnal knowledge of their spouses, sometimes in their presence. For a man, this is a big slap in the face, but he enjoyed doing that. That is who he was. He was so powerful and rich, such that he wielded a lot of power around him. He had people in the military, in the police, in the gendarme, even in the presidential guard. He had other state people he is in close collaboration with, who always protected him. So that is the reason why it felt like he was untouchable. Zwimanto also alleged that he flogged the hell out of his colleagues and had carnal knowledge of the female colleagues as well. And it was not like with your would I say acceptance. It was not like you accepted for that to happen. Even if you don't accept, he forces you. That was what I gathered from the story. Now, because of excessive use of force, repression, and all the like, he was the kind of boss many did not appreciate, many did not like. But his staff was forced to stay because they had nowhere else to go. Otherwise, they'll lose everything they had ever worked for. He blackmailed them, he threatened them to stay, and a lot more. So basically, that's the foundation Bopda had. He grew up seeing everything his father was doing. Now, sometimes when we have children in life, they learn more by seeing what we do, not by what we tell them to do. So Herve Bopda learned a lot from the character of his father. His father had planted seeds in him that even after he left, those seeds continue to grow in the guy. Now, in his childhood, it is said that he was insulted at school. He was being bullied because of his ears. I took note of that because they emphasized on many different blogs. He was always being insulted. Also, this guy in question, according to people who are close to him, doesn't speak well. He stammers. So because of that, he was being laughed at. So from a very young age, he was being bullied. He grew up as a child being bullied, although he went to a very good school and his family was very rich, but because of his inabilities, many people bullied him as a child. Now, it is but normal that if someone is being bullied at any level, that person will grow up not to like people around. They will also grow up with a lot of revenge in mind, especially if they are in the position to do so. As it is, in 2020, his father passed on to glory. He now became the owner of Afrique Constructions. Like I earlier mentioned, Afrique Constructions was a company owned by his father. They are still dealing, because Afrique Construction is very much operational in building material. In Cameroon, we call it quincaillerie. So they have one of the biggest quincaillerie in the country, with many branches in different towns, and the business is doing fine. So Herve Bopda is a multi-millionaire. He has a lot of money. He drives any kind of car he wants. He goes to anywhere he wants. He has a lot of friends who come around him, of course, because of his status in society. He wields a lot of power as well, because in a country where we find ourselves, when you are that rich, you have the law with you, it's on your side. So I don't know if it's like a kind of revenge that Herve Bopda began to pursue, because right now we have like 100 victims that have come out to complain against Herve Bopda, like 100, and some of them say he had started abusing them many years ago. So it's not like something of recent. It's like something of, say, 10-15 years ago, and he's been doing that consistently. Now, like I earlier mentioned, because of YouTube guidelines, I will not be able to name the kind of crimes he is being accused of. But if I can say a few things, he's been accused of excessive use of force, that he's a rapist. He uses force to have his way with both men and women. Ever since the whistleblower Zwimanto brought this news out to the general public, it's been like 2 weeks and victims keep coming out complaining of different kind of things he's done to them. And over time, some maybe 5 years back, some maybe 10 years back, some just last year, there are even reports of missing persons as well. They say there were people he met and they never saw them again. All these are all allegations. You can all find them at Zwimanto's page on Facebook. Most of the testimonies, all those who are complaining against him, there are close to 100 or more. They are all found there. So if you want to check these information out, you can go there. So now, basically, I can say that's like a brief biography or a brief discussion on what is actually going on, who Herve Bopda is, what he has done, and why he is on the news. Now, his deeds have already been done. I don't want to dwell on whatever has been done. I want to look, or I want to stand at the end or side of the victims. He has done what he has done. The damage is already done. Now, for all the people who were being victimized by Herve Bopda, I strongly stand with you in this trying moment, in this trying time. And I apologize for the hurt that you feel right now. I don't want to lay a single blame on any of you who was involved with this man or who was victimized by this man. But we must learn lessons from the whole ordeal of Herve Bopda. I don't want to judge Herve Bopda either, because all these things I have said are all allegations and you can find them on social media already. But what we can learn, the lessons we can draw from this story, is what I am very much concerned with. Now, I understand that our country is poor. We have challenges. Things are not going on fine. But it is not a reason for any boy or girl to give themselves out to be used like guinea pigs for experiments in life. It is not a healthy thing to do. You do not use yourself like experiments for people to use you and see if you are good enough or not. Have some dignity. Have some self-respect. You do not know people. You do not know how they make their money. You are not very versed with the entourage, but you want to be with them. You want to join in that clique. I don't think it is a good idea so far. Now, it is also said that there are a lot of influencers. I didn't want to go deep into the story because I just want to assume that everyone has heard about it and they have heard this or this or that or that. But there are a good number of influencers who are also involved with this man, who were the people actually recruiting young people, both men and women, for him. Now, my word to these influencers is, just because you are in a place of authority, let me put it that way, you are in a place of influence, and then you use that influence negatively against humanity, it is a shame. It is shameful. We heard that they would tell the girls or the boys they have maybe a casting for maybe shooting a movie, a casting for maybe those who are going to do a modeling or something, and then they rally them, take them somewhere, and then he will come there and have his way, and then after that give them huge sums of money. What I don't understand is, if this man had this much money, why would he want to use force on any person in the first place? And because the influencers benefited a lot from him, they were all keen at coming to him, proposing and bringing people to him so he can use them. To them, it was like some sort of business. If you even look at these influencers online, they are really doing fine. Today they're in Paris, tomorrow they're in Belgium, another day they're in another country, they're living large, but you don't even see the kind of business they do. You hear them saying they sell stuff online. Are they the only people selling stuff online? What kind of stuff are they actually selling online that gives them that kind of money that they have to be, parading everywhere they go to? It is because they were being financed by this man. So they used the influence that the young people had in them, the trust that young people had in them, to deceive them and then take them to him so they can be used. I wouldn't understand why he would want to use people in that way. I don't know if it's some kind of fetish. I don't know if it's some kind of, I don't know. But then it was like a sequence, and it happened regularly. I wouldn't blame the victims or say that because they were not contempt, that is why they fell into that trap. But it seems they were not contempt. They were not contempted, sorry. That is why they fell into that trap. Be contented in life. If you are contented in life, then you'll be able to flee from certain things like that. Rather, you think before you involve yourself in anything. For people who blame them, I would say you shouldn't blame them because the deed has already been done. The mistake has already been made. What we can do now is to stand by the victims and see that they get justice. There's so much needed justice that they are seeking. We cannot just allow them because they have been dehumanized, hurt so badly. Also, I think our parents are failing to caution their children. Parents should not relent in cautioning their children in things like this. Do not lie to your children. Tell your children what they are supposed to know. Tell them the truth, what they are supposed to know. Do not lie to them. When you lie to your children, you are not helping them. Tell them the realities of this life. They feel that life is easy, but I don't think it is as easy as it is. Yeah, just as I was saying, I was replying to some text. Our parents should educate their children on the need to be cautious in life. They should educate their children because they are praised out there and they will always be. They will always be out there. Now, it is also said that there is what we call picking money. He also organized picking money. I mean Herve Bopda, he organized picking money. Picking money is like a house party kind of setup where boys and girls, young people are being invited, and then they come and spend time together, and then there are a lot of illicit things that happen there, a lot of not so good things that happen there, and then after that now they will be used and then given large sums of money. They also said he was guilty of that. Now on this aspect, when our children want to go out, let us try to know where they are going to. When they say they are attending party, let's try to find out the kind of parties they are attending. Some people are online who were aware of the picking money of a thing. The picking money of a thing actually happened in Buea, or happens regularly in Buea. It means this person was not even looking at one particular town. He was just everywhere, Yaoundé, Douala, Limbe, and Buea, because he had guest houses in all these places where his stuff were being carried out. Can we report things like this if we find in our communities? I don't see how we would just stay and then things go wrong right before us, and then there is nothing we can do about it. Currently, as of yesterday, one of the premises where he used to carry out such atrocious acts, as it's been reported in the news, was closed by the gendarmerie officers yesterday. Currently, another location in Bonamusadi was searched yesterday, but he was not found. Today, it's been reported that someone saw him driving towards Yaoundé. Now, I think that if the law enforcement officers wanted to get hold of this guy, they would have gotten hold of him since. But I am not blaming them too, because maybe people just did not come in on time to report, or maybe there are no legal reports against him as it is. But like I said, on Zwimanto's page, you can see all the testimonies, all those who have been violated by him coming up and then giving their testimony. You can even see some of them with their faces, some of them brought their medical reports and all the like to the page to report him. So now that all this has already happened, I don't see how we are going to stay quiet. I think it is an opportunity for us to sensitize our children at home, sensitize the youths who are around us, teach them what to do in situations like this, teach them certain values of life like contentment, like respect for themselves, self-dignity. And of course, there are so many people outside who are not spiritual at all. They don't pray. They don't seek their instincts. They don't rely on their instincts on anything. They just move as though they are like air, just walking the streets. You should give time to prayers. You should give time to some level of spirituality. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in the things you do. Pray, believe in something. Hold or look up to something at a time like this. This man, if he is guilty, let the law hold him responsible. Let him be judged in a law court and sentenced to prison so he can serve his term. Because the kind of things I have heard are despicable. Since there are mere allegations and we cannot overemphasize on things like that, I'm afraid we all are in danger. For all the victims at this point in time, be very courageous. Come out and speak. Come out and talk. Come out and tell how things transpire so that you would have justice. I just could not hear all of this and I don't come out to say something. So now, like, just a quick recap of everything I have said so far. Herve Bopda is a businessman. He is actually the heir, and he inherited Afri construction from his father Emmanuel Bopda. He had a rough foundation because his father is being described on social media as a sadist, a wicked person, heartless, and someone who exercises a lot of power around his environment. Growing up as a kid, Herve Bopda picked up all this, and being bullied for his looks, he grew up to be a vengeful person. Looking at his height, you would know that he is a very strong person, because allegations have it that he exercised physical violence on his victims. Physically, he's a strong man. He has the height, he has muscles. He can actually do all that which is being accused of. But nonetheless, the damage is already done. We can only try to repair what has been destroyed. I stand with all the victims of Herve Bopda, and I say stop Bopda today. If he is found guilty, he should be prosecuted and sent to jail. Without which, I didn't intend for the video to be too long, because it is just my own view of what I have seen so far. My advice to parents: caution your children. Do not allow them to believe in the influencers they see on social media. They are all fake. They are all not good for them. Regulate the kind of content your children watch on the phones you have bought for them. Since you feel they can't do without phones, at least regulate the kind of content the children watch on their phones. Teach your children to be spiritual in some kind of way. If you are Christians, teach them how to pray. If you're Muslims, teach them how to pray. Bring them closer. Make them believe in something. Let them have faith. To walk on alone in this life without any superior being overseeing your life is not a good sign. It's not a good thing. Well, thank you for all those who watched the live. Share the video so that others can learn a thing or two. And then most probably I'll see you soonest on another live. Thank you for watching, and see you soon. Bye.